Good afternoon, dear friends. We are meeting for the second time today. The situation demands it because dozens of channels have already reported that fighting is underway in the city of Sudzha in the Kursk region. The Russian army is launching a powerful offensive from several directions at once. Take a look at the map. The Ukrainian Armed Forces, UAF, are unable to withstand the pressure. The UAF are retreating. As I already mentioned, many channels have reported that fighting is taking place in Sudzha, and now we are going to figure out exactly what is happening. So, friends, I had actually planned to make a video about the Kursk region tomorrow, but the situation is developing so rapidly that I have to make a special update today. Tomorrow there will also be a video about the Kursk region. We will summarize the results of the first day of this powerful Russian offensive. But for now, let's go over the initial reports. Why was this offensive possible? Yesterday, there was a breakthrough by the Russian army over a distance of 6 kilometers. Pay attention. It happened right here, near Kurilovka. More precisely, assault units advanced 6 kilometers from Kurilovka and reached the second supply road. Here it is, see it on the map? They managed to physically cut it off. As a result, this alternative supply route became inaccessible to the Ukrainian armed forces. But what's even more important is that from these positions, Russian drones can now easily reach the main supply road. The distance from these positions to the road is only 6 kilometers, while the range of FPV drones is 8 to 10 kilometers. This means that Russian forces can now strike the Yunikivka-Sudzha road with ease. Before this, they could only target it from Novenk in the Sumy region, which is about 5 kilometers away. So now, the road is being targeted from both sides. And as I mentioned yesterday, not even a mouse could get through, let alone tanks, armored personnel carriers, APCs, infantry fighting vehicles, IFVs, and so on. The Ukrainian grouping is now operationally encircled. As a result, the entire Ukrainian grouping in the Kursk region is now operationally surrounded. This isn't a full cauldron yet, since the road hasn't been physically cut off at the moment. However, it is an operational encirclement because most Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region have no safe way out, only under heavy fire from drones and artillery. How many Ukrainian soldiers are there? The estimates vary. The lowest number I've heard is 5,000 soldiers. The highest figure, which was actually published today by The Telegraph, is 10,000 Ukrainian soldiers. So, roughly within that range, thousands of Ukrainian soldiers have found themselves in operational encirclement in the Kursk region. An escape is possible only under fire, and bringing in reinforcements and ammunition is completely impossible. Absolutely impossible. Moving anything along that road, while it's being targeted from both sides, is simply out of the question. Well, in such a situation it was expected that the Russian army would launch a powerful offensive along all fronts. And it really did. This morning, numerous reports began coming in about Russian forces advancing in various sectors. The main goal of this entire offensive is the city of Sudzha. Again, there are many sources and a lot of information. Let's go through everything step by step. Russian forces have captured several settlements. First of all, today the villages of Viktorovka and Nikolaevka came under Russian control. This is confirmed, 100% verified information. In addition, there were reports that Russian troops moved south along the highway, took control of the Kubit hamlet, here it is, and entered Kazakh-Yalaka, where fighting is currently underway. The overall picture of the Russian army's offensive currently looks like this. Let me show you this map again. Here, take a look. Do you see these lines and arrows? These indicate the directions of the Russian army's advance. Now we are going to examine each axis of the offensive that you see on the map in detail. Let's go back to the situation in the Kursk region. Let's open the map once again. I'll show you the Russian offensive that began today after the exit route came under artillery blockade. Let's go step by step. Again, I want to clarify that the situation is changing rapidly. All the latest verified information will be available on my Telegram channel. The link is in the description, or you can scan the QR code. Reports from war correspondents. The war correspondent Podobny reported at around 10:00 a.m. Moscow time that a large-scale Russian offensive on Sudzha had begun. Later, at 2:00 p.m., various channels, including AIT and the war correspondent Kursk, reported that Russian troops had already entered the city of Sudzha. This information was also published on the Two Majors Telegram channel. Let me say right away that I don't have this information confirmed. The last information I personally received from the field was the following: fighting is taking place in the southern part of Makhnovka, and clashes have also begun in Martinovka. That's all, no further information. Things have gone quiet. Therefore, today we will rely on reports from other war correspondents. These include Podobny, Special Forces Akhmet, IT, and others. So, what do we have? 1. The offensive is advancing from the direction of Martinovka. The goal is to take control of the village, reach the road, and use it to enter the settlement of Mirny. And from there, you see, there's a direct road to the city of Sudzha. Martinovka is being stormed by Akhmet, specifically by the aid unit, which is also part of Akhmet. An offensive is also coming from the direction of Russkaya Konopelka. From these positions, the target is the settlement of Mirny, and from there, the goal is to enter the city of Sudzha from the direction of Cherkasskaya Konopelka. The 11th Airborne Brigade has entered Makhnovka. According to the latest reports from this morning, fighting was only taking place on the southern outskirts of the village. I doubt that an advance into the city of Sudzha could come from there, because first they would need to take full control of Makhnovka, then take Zamostai, and only after that would it be possible to enter Sudzha. To accomplish all of this in just a few hours seems unrealistic to me. And if it is realistic, it would only be possible if these villages were completely abandoned. However, communication blackout mode has been activated, and I haven't had any further contact with my source since this morning. But other reports suggest that fighting is already taking place inside the city of Sudzha. There are intense assault operations by the 30th Motorized Rifle Regiment in the area of Cherkasskoye Porknoy, not in Sudzha, but on the approach to Kazakyalaka. The entire northern salient is also being cut off. In fact, this is already close to happening. At this point, Ukrainian resistance is only holding on in Malaya Lakhnya, and even there, more than half of the village is already under Russian control. The other villages, as I mentioned earlier, have already returned home. These are Staraya Sorokina, Nikolaevka, and Viktorovka. And if Russian assault forces manage to push through Malaya Lakhnya in the coming hours, the entire salient, covering 25 kilometers, will come under Russian control. As I've said, numerous sources, literally dozens, have reported today that fighting is already taking place inside Sudzha. I'm not prepared to put my reputation on the line for this information. So here are the screenshots. They reference other sources. Everything I was personally able to confirm before the communication blackout was activated, I've already shared with you. Viktorovka and Nikolaevka have been taken, Russian forces have entered Makhnovka, and fighting is ongoing in Martinovka. This information is 100% confirmed. Everything else remains uncertain for now. But tomorrow, once the fog of war clears, we'll be able to assess the situation more accurately. In any case, the liberation of the Kursk region is now a matter of weeks, not several months, as it seemed just a week ago. Soon, all the residents of Kurchino will be able to return to their homes. That's all for now. I wish you a pleasant weekend and see you soon.